So there's a couple different things I forgot to mention with Poppets in the last video that I was realizing as I was rewatching it. Let's turn this up a little bit. Um, I also have used raffia to make Poppets before, and those are usually used at like Midsummer and Beltane, or you can use them any year around the year, but usually there's more fires at the rituals I go to during this type or during that time of the year. And I like the raffia ones because you can put your tent into it, you can decorate it, you can do all these things, and just throw it in the fire, and there's not that much of a smell or anything when you burn them, and it's not that harsh. Um, Also, I've read, I haven't made this myself, but some people will want to make the poppet look like the person as much as possible because they think that the more it looks like them, the more not real realistic, I guess you could say. Um, the more it looks like them, the more the stronger the magic will work in a way, or the easier you'll be able to connect that person with the poppet. So I've heard of people using Barbie dolls, and I guess that you could use them. I guess because you could cut the hair. I don't think you could dye it, but you could probably find a hair close enough. And if you can't, I know there's like some. If you go to like cheap dollar stores and like funky little shops, they have like weird colored hair dolls. You can cut the hair then to look like the doll. You can add clay to the body if the person's bigger than the Barbie doll. Clay to different parts of the body and let it dry so that it, like say the person has bigger boobs or bigger stomach or bigger arms or something. Just add clay, and then if you're crafty, you can sew some clothes to fit on there, or him. I guess you use a Ken doll too. Um, and then try and decorate as much as possible. You can easily go to the craft store and get like little beads or something to make a necklace or something. If you're putting that much intent into a doll, though, you're probably really super serious about the work you're doing, like obsessively so. I think, unless it's for something really good, I guess, then that you're going to be continuing to work on for a while and keep like feeding the doll or keeping it active, um, then I guess that you could put that sort of work into it. It's putting a lot of energy into something, so you must be working on something that's like really powerful, if you want to say. Um, with activating poppets, I've heard of some people using different essential oils, sort of awaken it, or using different herbs or something, or just praying over it or sending energy into it to activate the doll. I know there was one person on Etsy, I think it was Rita's Spiritual Goods. She had an activation spray for dolls. I'm not sure if she sells it anymore, but I'll check. Um, which was interesting. I was thinking of trying some of that next time, or one of the times I've used a doll or a poppet. And then usually with me, once I've created it and it's done, it has its own. When I'm finished putting everything together, it has its own sort of destiny thing. It doesn't really need to be awoken or anything because once it's finished and it's alive in my sort of magical speaking or something. So what else is there? I've seen them just made out of regular thread, so embroidery thread, little tiny poppet dolls, but they basically they're basically the same as the Scandinavian yarn dolls. And then I know on Etsy that people do a bunch of funky stuff too. You can find lots of different voodoo dolls on Etsy, even just fun ones. There's some really fun dolls on there. People get really creative, more so than I usually. I'm very simple with the stuff I make. Simple and to the point. Um, but you can really just do whatever you want with it. Get a blade of grass or something and like fold it into a little thing, and there's your little poppet for now. Making it basically folding it like this over. There's so many different things you can use, and basically you're making them look like this though. And I'd love to hear more about what other people how they use their poppets or their voodoo dolls. There's like endless possibilities. You can carve it out of wood. You could carve it into a stone. Make it out of beads. Different textiles. There's so many different textiles you can work with, and I usually never see the wood ones or anything or the stone ones, because the only things I see of those like goddess statuary or god statuary or pretty little fairies or something. Never really something intended for a person. Usually it's something that you can get rid of, like yarn or material, or even the wax. Or some people will even use take a candle and carve like the person's image into that. That's basically like the wax voodoo doll, like the Lodestone Lady's Mantle one in a way, I guess. They're burning it away, but I would still sort of consider that a poppet of sorts. And yeah, I really want to see how people use them. I read some stuff, but it's usually regurgitated information, and I know that people are getting more creative than what they're saying. So if you have any videos or if you have anything you want to share, I'd love to hear it. So that's it for this video, making up for my last one that I missed a few things on. So thank you again.